So I'm going to be completely honest. As I was preparing for this presentation, I kept thinking to myself that I am so not qualified enough to speak on this. I haven't achieved everything that I've wanted to yet. I haven't made the breakthrough that I've been pushing for, and I'm still very much in a time of self-discovery. But then I thought back to the person that I was a year and a half ago, and all of the unknowns that I was facing, and all the things that I hadn't achieved yet that I wanted to, and went on to. And I realized that by sharing this process, I'm sharing that every day is about mindset. It's about setting goals and being okay if they turn out differently than you'd planned. And it lets you recognize that so many great people who have done amazing things have all come to a crossroads at some point in their lives. They've all experienced doubt. They've all had dark moments. And in order to push through all of that, you have to set your mind to push through all of that, even if it feels like walking through a maze while blindfolded. Hi, I'm Maelyn. You may know me from the voice, and if you don't, that's cool too. But if you do, you probably don't know how it started. I actually had the childhood dream of being on Broadway. My mom homeschooled me from middle school on, and because I was so musical, she decided to put me in local theater to keep me from being socially awkward and to probably give me an outlet for how dramatic I was. But it really became a passion, and I was so lucky to have incredibly supportive parents. They packed everything up, moved me to New York City when I was 17 to pursue that passion, and for a couple years, I really pounded the pavement. But at some point, I discovered that I had a story to tell. And I wanted to do that through my own music. So I switched lanes, and so many people questioned my decision. I questioned my decision. I was basically starting over in a new industry, but my passion was creating. It was telling my story in my way and connecting with people on that level. And I had to be honest with myself and true to who I was. So that meant that I had to work all the survival jobs. I was a waitress, I was a nanny, I was a hotel desk agent. I started a company and performed for kids' birthday parties, and still barely paid my rent, as you all know that story. But I was doing all of that while also working on myself as a solo artist. Every Wednesday night, I was performing for 3 hours at a music lounge in Manhattan, and that is really where I honed in on my craft. I was learning guitar, I was learning piano, I was focusing on songwriting, I was performing and recording as much as I could, but it was so difficult. I was juggling so much at once, and I wasn't making any real moves in music, and I was exhausted, I was discouraged. And at this time, social media was really growing, and it was becoming very necessary for artists to know how to use it effectively to be able to market themselves. And I was still learning, and even though I've never had a problem being vulnerable in a public way, I wasn't very good at posting frequently about the mundane, posting in moments of sadness or depression, or casual videos of me singing around the house. Until one night, after a bad breakup, I was having a hard time articulating to myself how I felt. And this was at a severe low point in my New York experience. It was very cold. I was overwhelmed and run down by all my day jobs. I was paying way too much to live in a shoebox with roaches. And music was not happening the way that I wanted it to. I was so stressed and so anxious. And when I'm anxious, I clean and I write. So as I was cleaning underneath my bed, I was pulling everything out. I had this melody in my head, and the lyrics just came so naturally that I felt the urge to record it right then and there. So in the middle of all the mess that I just made, I set up my phone and I recorded a little snippet of a song because I wanted to remember what it sounded like when I felt those words so fully. And I posted it immediately to Instagram, and the response that I got was overwhelming.
I want you to burn me bad this time. Tell me that we're never gonna be. I want you to make me believe
So soon after that, someone from voice casting reached out to me over Instagram and asked me if I wanted to do a private audition. And I was surprised because I really never considered myself the type of singer that they wanted on that show. I didn't think of myself as a belter or a riffer or somebody who could do impressive vocal gymnastics. However, at that time, I was confident in who I was as a person, as an artist, and as a singer. And I believed in what I did have to offer, which was human connection and storytelling. So I was like, you know what the heck, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go in there and be completely myself. I'm going to sing what I want to sing, how I want to sing it. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, no harm done. Well, they liked it. And turns out they wanted authenticity. And that was good for me, and I was very excited about that. And I went through all the auditions, all the callbacks, and eventually found myself standing in front of 4 big red chairs, hoping for one of them to turn. And to my surprise, all 4 turned. And I chose to work with John Legend as my coach, and we went on to win season 16 together. And before my blind audition, before all of my performances on the show, I remember telling myself, don't try to be impressive. Try to leave an impression. And it's really become a motto for me in all things in life. So, what happens after? Everyone asks. Well, when you're on a talent show, it's all about being versatile, showing range, being able to seamlessly shift through genres, keeping it fresh while maintaining your authenticity. But once you're launched into the real world, it is about finding your lane. So everyone asks me, what now? When are you going to release music? Well, one of the perks of winning The Voice is you actually get a record deal with one of the biggest labels, Republic Records, which is super exciting and super scary. And it's easy to think that once you've been signed to a big label, you have a full team working for you, that everything is set and you just ride the ride. But no, things are not how they used to be. With the rise of social media and streaming services, it's become so easy for anyone to be able to upload music and to release content. Now everything has become so oversaturated, it's hard to break through, to stand out. You cannot just be the creative anymore. You have to have a business sense as well. You have to be able to create your own opportunities. Even when you're signed to a big label, you can't just wait for things to fall into your lap. You have to be able to steer your own ship. At the end of the day, you are quality control. And there will always be compromise involved. But know your limit. Know when to push. Know when to give. Really listen to the advice given to you and decide what advice you want to apply to your path. You have to prove that you have something to offer that no one else does. And then I believe that it truly comes down to authenticity. The best advice that I can give to somebody who wants to be on a competition show is to remember that it is a platform. They give you exposure, they build you a following, they open the door to a huge label, but what happens after that is completely on you. It is still uphill. And there will be opinions coming at you from all around. You have to constantly check in with yourself. You'll find that what you've wanted for so long looks very different. And your idea of your career will change the more you learn. I've always considered myself genre fluid, rooted in pop. But that's not specific enough. So I'm at the stage right now where I'm basically going on blind dates with producers and writers, trying to find that right recipe, that sound that is uniquely me, and that takes time. And it's not just about finding my sound. I have to identify what my genuine and personal brand is, how I want to come across aesthetically. I'm a business. As an artist, you are a business. So do your research. Sift through, see what's resonating with people, what resonates with you. As a reaction to how monetized social media has become, I've noticed that people are attracted to the real, raw, unfiltered content out there right now. Like I said, people are craving authenticity in a world that is so filtered. People want something real, something genuine. And I believe that that is true in music as well. The truth is, you can't please everyone. You can't just guess what the next hit is going to be. You can't only look at music stats and say, well, because this was a hit, this will be a hit. Or we put your song through an algorithm and it calculated that it will not be a hit. Music, taste is constantly evolving. As you know, art is subjective. One of the most beautiful things, one of my favorite things about music is the unfiltered humanity. You can't necessarily foresee success. But what you can do is push yourself to be innovative and sincere. Know when to say yes, don't be scared to say no. You have to root yourself in producing art that truly makes you proud, that is completely a reflection of you and your human experience. And remember, don't try to be impressive, try to leave an impression. So I'm going to sing a little original song for you right now. I have a bit of a cold, but I want to do this for you. And I don't know if this song will ever live in the world. Hopefully it will. But it's one of my most authentic, vulnerable songs, and I'm going to let it live here with you right now. Here's Dreamboat. The dreamboat takes his sails with him and leaves me in the ocean on my own. He says he's coming back with a rope in hand, so I wait without a compass pointing home. Tell my mother and my father they don't have to feel the water. It's the only thing keeping me afloat. Tell the man who pulled me under that I'm holding my breath and I'm waiting for him to come home. What does it say about the one who cannot admit to himself he's on the run from a ghost unseen, from a love that is running parallel? Tell my mother and my father they don't have to fear the water. It's the only thing keeping me afloat. Tell the man who pulled me under that I'm holding my breath and I'm waiting for him to come home. Tell my mother and my father they don't have to fear the water. It's the only thing keeping me afloat. Tell the man who pulled me under that I'm holding my breath thing keeping me afloat. Tell the man who pulled me under that I'm holding my breath, and I'm waiting for him to come home. Tell the man who pulled me under that I'm holding my breath, and I'm waiting for him to come home. Thank you.